Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. As always, I am your humble host, Stefano, and I am thrilled if you could join me today on this live video. Tonight, I should say. Also, we have just crossed the 136 subscriber mark. Thank you to everyone who has played a part in that. Thank you to everyone that has been hitting the like button, everyone that has subscribed. Please make sure you keep subscribing. Please make sure you keep hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned last week, we are opening up the Nomad Worldwide WhatsApp group. I'm going to be taking names soon to add people to the group. It's going to be invite only. This will be a group that is only for networking and opportunity only. What we do in this group, we will be sharing YouTube videos, helping promote channels. If there are any business opportunities and things like that that can help benefit one another, because it's a lot of fellow nomads out here that are looking, and it's plenty of places where you can go to find this information, but it's better if we had one centralized location. So the Nomad Worldwide WhatsApp group is going to be a place where you can come find all of the above, whether it's content that's going to pertain to your lifestyle as a fellow nomad, or you're just looking for some sort of opportunities. I see we got people in the chat already. Please make sure you hit that like button. If you are watching this on the replay, please do the same. Make sure that you hit subscribe. Please make sure that you hit the like button. It keeps putting us in front of a bigger audience, and it keeps bringing more people in here to hear this content. We want to make sure we get this content out in front of as many people as possible. So with that being said, there's a lot of people out here that have that mindset. So if you're one of those type people, if you're a fellow nomad just like me, hit that like button. That way you can stay on top of this. Now, let's see who we got in the building. All right. So we got some special guests in here. Hello, Mr. Frank Tate. Salute, sir. Thank you for joining my podcast tonight. I really appreciate you coming through. Tonight, guys, we are going to take a trip across the Pacific Ocean all the way to Philippines. We got a special guest in the building, and she's going to be telling us all about her homeland, and we're going to ask her a couple questions, and we're going to get to know her real well. Her name is Lily Tate, and we want to support her just as well as we support any other content creator. So please, while she's up here, well, before she gets up here, let's say this. Please make sure you be respectful to her. She's a married woman, so she's not soliciting any men, okay? This is her husband right here. So please make sure you be respectful to her and him, all right? As always, gracias la quequina. Hello, nomads. Welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. This space is made for learning, so enjoy yourself. Yes, that's right. Gracias. Puss in Boots, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. You here with your small cat already. Well, thanks for bringing them out. Tell them all to hit the like button. Tell them make sure they hit that like button, okay? All right. Hey, Lily, I see you in there. You need the link? All right, I'm going to drop it. Give me just a second. This link I'm dropping in the chat, guys, is only for Frank and Lily. No one else should be trying to come up. All right, Lily, it's in the chat. Look at the OG in the house. Thank you for coming through, Will. Hey, thank you, sir. Really, really means a lot to see you in the building, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through here. All right, Lily, you should see the link. I'll see you when you come backstage. Frank, make sure you get that link too, because that's for you. You'll be able to come up a little later. Guys, yes, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit that like button. We want to get everything in front of you, like I said. We are here to support everybody and all content creators. So we're doing what we're doing, and we're going to do the best at doing it. All right. So we're going to give her a couple of seconds to make her way into the studio. Last week we had a great episode. If you didn't get a chance to catch it or watch it on the replay, Profe Don Omar was here, and Don Omar came up here and we discussed the 7 most important reasons why you should be learning Spanish. And we did it on both our channels. So if you get a chance, go back and watch that video. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Lily Tate. Hello, Lily.
Hello, Steph.
How
Nice
you
to
doing?
see you.
How you
Oh,
doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me in your show.
Nah, no problem, no problem. It's great to do interviews like this because it's good for us to be able to get out in front of everybody and talk sometimes, because us as content creators, we want to not only put each other on, right? We want to help each other the most way we can, the best way we can, but it's it's just something that needs to be done more often. It's a lot of people
Yeah.
who are kind of, you know, in their own way, and we don't need to be that way. And plus,
Mm-hmm.
this is an international thing, so it's very important that the cultures we learn about each other's culture, and it's a lot of things going on with the Philippines, between the Philippines and the U.S. So I think it was a good time for us to be able to just get in here and talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. Will said he's been to the Philippines 6 times. Yes. So, how'd you like it, Will? What was your opinion on it? Also, guys, I got a poll in the chat. I put a poll in the chat. Is the Philippines on your travel destinations for 2024? I'd appreciate if you guys took that poll. Yes, no, or maybe. And maybe after Lily finished talking about it, you maybe if it's not on your travel list, you put it on your travel list. All right. Six, yeah,
Sixth
yeah,
time. So you
yeah,
better, you better coming here, Steph, in the Philippines so that you will experience, the
yeah.
country. We're gonna talk that later.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a lot. He's camped out over there, puts on boots. He's there a lot. So
Hi, Boots.
so Lily, tell us about yourself. Give us a little introduction about you. Tell everybody about you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Lilibet Tate. I'm from the Philippines and I'm married to a passport bro from Chicago, Illinois. And I have a YouTube channel, Lilibet Tate channel, for those wants to know about Philippines and of course some Filipino recipe. Just check it out on my channel, and I can share some of those for those Western people wants to try Filipino food.
Yeah, I like that pasta recipe you made the other day.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's good, Steph. Try it. It's good.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I sent you a video of my pasta that I made. That sauce, Jesus Christ, it was a lot of. It was like I'd never used it before, but I had seen some guys on YouTube make it, and I was
Mm,
like, oh, I found it in Walmart here. So I was like, I wonder what it tastes like. But it's a different type of. It's different. It's got a lot of meat in it. Like it was another one that I got that had like mushrooms and uh some other kind of sausage, mushrooms and sausage in it, and I loved it. So when I saw this one, I said, I'm gonna try this. And then when I put it in the pan with my other meat, it's like the sausage just stood up by itself. I was like, oh Jesus, this is all meat. This is not really any tomato paste. So yeah, I got a lot of salsa in there and a lot of pasta. I use rigatoni shells, so it's
mm.
huge. I can't even close the pot. It's like I'm gonna have it for the next week, just me by myself.
You cook a lot.
Yeah, I do. I live by myself, so
Oh, okay.
I I eat out on the weekends. Like every Saturday, I go to this Salvadorian restaurant and I treat myself to breakfast because I work hard. Like I work in corporate America, and so I used to have 40 employees. So I mentally I'm drained during the weekend.
Yeah.
They just trimmed my staff down to about 20 people. So I got time to do a lot of things now. But
So you don't have time, to cook.
not really, not all the time. But when I do, I try to make me something I know is gonna last. Like I might fry chicken or make chicken fillets or stuff like that, and then cook some sides to go with it. So when I get hungry, when I get off work, I can just come in here and warm it up and eat leftovers, and I'm good. It's just me anyway. I don't really have a lot of company over here. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's my kids or my grandkids or something like that. But I don't
Yeah.
I don't
You
really have a
don't.
lot of people over here.
Hmm.
Or a fire pit grill, one or the other. So the first question is, can you share some of the favorite Filipino dishes and significance in daily life? And their significance in daily life.
Oh, I can tell, chicken adobo.
Chicken
That's
adobo.
yeah, chicken adobo because uh well, it's before, a lot of Filipino food we really get that in Spanish because we colonized after, we colonized with the Spanish. So a lot of Filipino food we get that, but this is original that before the Spanish came. And then the chicken adobo, because the chicken is way more less the price than compared to the beef and
Yeah.
pork.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. So the and then the adobo, it's just like people, how we preserve, because that time we just rare people had a refrigerator. Okay, by cooking this, it the food, it lasts for a week. So we don't you don't ha- we don't have to eat that right away on in just one meal. So it will
okay.
last for a week. So it's this like combination of soy sauce and vinegar, and then like peppercorn, bay leaf, and garlic and onion. So it really, the more the food that it takes long, the more become tasty. So that's, I can consider that the chicken adobo. But there's another now that they innovate. You can make pork adobo, but the original is chicken adobo.
Original chicken adobo.
Yeah.
Frank sounds good.
So
Yeah,
it's just like I don't know if you're familiar, the average man unplugged. His second time coming here in the Philippines.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm familiar. I'm
Then
familiar.
second time also he visited us, and I
Okay.
always cook that chicken adobo because he loves that. And then when he saw my chicken adobo, it's almost fell on the bone. Oh, he loves the and the sauce. It's really, it's really good. So
It
I
sounds
always
good.
that one.
I wonder why I've never heard of it. I had it. I'm gonna have to find somewhere around here that has it.
Try. I have that. Because I cook the classic, because every region here in the Philippines, they have their own style. Even though, especially in my village, we cook chicken adobo differently from Metro Manila. But the recipe that I have on my show, that's very classic. So that's the original recipe. So you can try that, Steph. I have that on my show. But here's my advice: if you really want to taste the authentic chicken adobo, use Filipino recipe. Don't use other ingredients, because you can tell the taste is different. Just it reminds me, when I watching, Rachel Ray. You
Rachel
know,
Ray, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was react, and then I feel that she murdered the original recipe of chicken adobo, because we
Mm,
don't use olive oil, we use coconut oil, we don't use jalapeno, and then we don't fry the chicken before we boil the sauce. So I don't think that the sauce is the chicken adobo is the same as the original. So my advice, if you want to try my recipe, just go to Asian store and grab one of those ingredients. It's very, it's easy, it's easy to cook, but you really enjoy the taste if you take Filipino ingredients.
what is lapu lapu fish?
Lapu-lapu fish is just like, the similar to ribas fish.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can look it up. I can find out
Well,
what it is.
let me check.
Okay.
Uh,
While you're doing that, let me share this. Please make sure you are subscribed to my Instagram page. I drop videos over there before I go live to let you guys know that I got a video coming. I also do it on TikTok too. It's pretty much the same
mm,
video. So, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my Instagram page and my Facebook page. You can see the bottom. It's a it's a what do you call this? A banner with all of my social media sites on it, guys. Please subscribe to me over there. Just in case something ever happens to YouTube.
well, it says the lapu-lapu is green grouper. Green
Group
grouper.
group. Yeah, yeah.
Grouper. You know
Okay.
that. That's the lapu-lapu. It's not, because, there's, people are confused, the lapu-lapu fish and the lapu-lapu Filipino hero who
Okay.
killed Magilla.
It's a lot. It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I,
that's
go
good. I like, I like lapu-lapu fish, especially, I prepare to steam with, with soy sauce, and then, lots of, leeks. I
hmm
love that. Ginger, because ginger eliminate the fishy taste,
Okay.
or the fishy smell.
Oh, there you now. A lot of people. That's a secret right there. How to get rid of the fishy taste. You add ginger to it.
Yeah, ginger.
Okay. All right. So I hope people are taking notes. This is we got a lot of people that like Filipino style cooking. She just gave you a gem right there. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go to how does the close knit family structure play a role in Filipino society? And what are some of the cherished family traditions in the Philippines?
Well, it's just like, the thing is, the hospitality thing.
Hmm
So it's just like, well, it's just like normal for, for Filipino, especially that, like, you have to prepare food. And this is so funny because, we Filipino, especially, example, if you visit us, especially in the village, Steph, everything is new. The utensils, the pillow, the blanket, everything is new. I think that's a part of, our culture, that, until now it still exists, because it happens also to me.
Yeah.
When Rome visit us, I don't want him, to, I want, to give him a lot of, the spread. So that's, that Filipino culture that, we still, still exists nowadays. Even, until now, I mean, the hospitality thing.
Yeah. Make sure everything's fresh and clean. Everything. Yeah.
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 And we feel that, our guest or visitor is, feel that, he's at home, and then, he feels comfortable dealing with us, because, some people, they're not really into that, especially first time. So we make it sure that, these people are very, comfortable dealing with us. But, well, it's way different how, how you welcome your visitors or guests in the city, compared to the, to the suburb, or, countryside. But, still you can still see the, the effort, the thing that how they, how they take care of their visitors, the hospitality thing, even though that, they just prepare a simple food, as long as, they offer that to their guests.
Okay. Just great hospitality. I know in the southern parts, Frank, I don't know if Frank has ever been to the South before. I know he's from the Chi Town, but a lot of people from the South migrated to Chicago back in the days. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Southern hospitality before, but here in the South, where I'm from, we're very, very hospitable like that too. I know my mother was a true Southern woman. So anytime we had uh, family coming over or someone was coming to basically stay over at our house, we had to clean. We had to make sure everything was right. All the bed sheets and pillowcases and everything was
Yeah.
clean. We had to do all these things just to make sure that everything was in preparation for them. Because one, you want to be able to leave a great mark on them, just being very hospitable, especially with family.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I can see that, the older, older black people are, our culture is, there's a little
Mhm.
similarity. So that's, that's the problem, that, I can see that, now that younger generation, especially, they're more into the, the new modernization thing. So sometimes they forgot, the culture, the history. So I
Right.
wish that, I wish that they will not forget, no matter how modernization coming in our, in our society.
And that kind of ties into the next question, because I know that in these modern days, the way, well, I really can't speak for the Philippines because I've never been over there, but I know here, and
Hmm.
we talk about it all the time on YouTube. It's kind of like we're losing the sense of family and tradition and culture because we are not practicing what our grandfathers and grandmothers did, because a lot of people feel like that was hard or that was hard on them,
Hmm.
when yeah, it might have looked hard, but or it might have even been actually hard on them, but we had reasons to do it because all we had was each other, right? So I think because we have so much technology nowadays and we're able to, see certain things and do things on the internet, that we kind of forget about just the simple little things that we can do with family that makes it
Hmm.
special and important. And then the government is really driving things. The next question, though, is what aspects of Filipino culture do you believe make the Philippines unique and special?
I think, the family ties, we're family oriented. That's, I can tell that, that's, the, aspect in Filipinos life. It's just, we're family oriented, because here's the thing, Steph, that here in the Philippines, no matter how old, we don't really bring our our elders to the nursing home. As
Mm.
long as we can able to take care of,
I don't believe it.
always,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's always in our in our because I I don't know, it's just like it's really hurting us, other people to take care of our our like parents. We don't. So
Mm.
I lost my parents, but they never went to a nursing house. All of us will take care of them. So, well, this is what I noticed. Well, I'm not saying in the West that people, they don't really care about their parents or their elders, but uh if they cannot really take on the responsibility how to take care, they just bring to the nursing home. There's nothing wrong with that, but in Filipino way of we don't we're really into that. We're the one who take care, instead bring our parents to the nursing homes. That's the one thing that family ties, we're very on that.
Yeah. My family's not with that either. Like, only way you gonna go to a nursing home is if can't nobody do anything for you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Jane, the ultimate Filipino, says hi. Hello, Miss Beth.
Hi, Jane. Thank you for coming, Jane.
Thank you for coming through, Jane. Thank you so much. Frank says, my people are from Mississippi. M.I. crooked letter M. Yes. I spent my summers there. Yes, sir. Oh, Lord, it's hot down there. I know. I know. Uh,
And this is what I here in the Philippines, Steph. Uh, you already have you're married, okay, you're still in your house of your parents, because
mhm,
that's what happened on my parents. After three trials, they decided to separate with the parents of my father. But at first of they have to stay there. But my mother's forced my father to have their own house, because well, the family starts bigger, because sometimes there's misunderstanding between the grandma or the grandparents with the mother, because this is what I noticed that I have a lots of nephews and niece. During our time, my parents very strict about us. But when it comes to my niece and nephews, they're very they're spoiler. So that's one thing that my mother forced my father. Okay, we need to build our own house, because sometimes the grandchildren, they get a big head, because the grandma or the grandpa back up them when they do something wrong or what. So that's but in the West, once you're 18 and you can able
mhm.
to take care of your self, you're free to leave your parents house. But here in the Philippines, no, we're not really into that. It's
It used to be like it back here. I'm trying to ask Frank here. Tell you, it used to be like you had to go through the gauntlet to be with the woman here. You could not just walk up and meet a woman and then she was yours. You had to meet the brother, the uncle, the cousin, the
Mhm.
daddy. You had to do all this. You had to prove why you were worthy of this woman. I mean, it was totally different back in the days. Nowadays, it's just here. It's like here, right?
Just using the smartphone.
Yeah, this is
In
like
a
that,
few hours, they boyfriend and girlfriend.
right? And see, that's why a lot of the guys are leaving here, going overseas, looking for more traditional valued women because of how they kind of, I'm not gonna say they destroyed it, but it's not the same. It's just, if
Yeah.
you're looking for, like, most men believe in legacy, or they want to have peace in life and peace in their home, they're not gonna go find a woman to marry that's gonna drive them up the wall every day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Women, the
Yeah.
person that you choose is, and you guys were just talking about this on your live stream. And guys, if you have not checked out Lily's page, please make sure you go subscribe to the Lily Beth Tate channel. She talks about things over there, and she just finished talking about, should you share your bank account with your spouse? Great topic, and it's very interesting. You might want to go check out that video. I'm gonna share it on my community tab later. But I mean, just think, if you're in a household with somebody like you couldn't trust, or they're just driving you nuts, and it's like you can't get away from them. It's not a happy situation. And men want peace. Men want to be, they want normal lives. They want to live normal lives. They don't really want to be rambunctious. So
Yeah.
I understand. Please make sure you subscribe to my Facebook page too. Same video. Like right now, we're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So you'll be able to catch all of the content on all three platforms simultaneously live, along with Instagram and TikTok, guys. So please make sure you check us out on all of the social media sites. Once again, it's in the banner below. Also, if you ever want to see some content reviewed on this channel, send me an email. Um, yeah, it used to be totally different back in the days, Lily. Back when my mom was a little girl, stuff like that. And now they have completely, I don't know what's going on nowadays. It's hard.
Yeah,
People,
it's just like, me and Frank were talking about, and then, because I asked him, is your mother complain, cooking and cleaning the house? And then he said no. And
no.
then well, I'm not putting this black woman, but this is what I heard, a lot of brothers that
Mhm,
they don't really want to to clean the house or cook because they think that it's a slavery thing. So I
mhm.
just me and Frank, we have a discussion about that because I asked him personally with his mother, is your mother complain about that? And then
Right.
he said no, because that time you know his dad working, and then the mother, his mother prepared the lunch to bring it to the to the job site where the father worked. So and then
Mhm.
I realized that it's something in common with Filipino wives. Okay, they do that because it's just like I experience also that with my my parents. It's just it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, my father not really looking for the fancy food. It doesn't matter to him as long as the food is freshly cooked. And then they don't he don't have to tell us, my mother, oh, what's the food. And then when she come back home after working in the farm, you just like sit on the table and enjoy the food that my mother cooked. But
Mhm.
it's just like it's just like natural here in the Philippines. But nowadays that young women are they change. They
Yeah.
change. So the history, it starts to vanish. So I
Yeah.
think that's the reason why they don't really give value. Because when Frank told me about the history of a black people, I
Mhm.
feel my heart was so crushed when I saw that. I can see the he opened the the movie, the root
Yeah. Roots.
root.
Yeah.
And then I saw the whip on the back, and then the movie that he watched, the Django thing.
Yeah.
And I can see, so it's just like I told him, if I'm a black woman, I really give value because I can see, the pain, the hard time during during that, black people are not free.
Right.
So I feel bad about that now that when I saw women, they don't really give value, man. They don't give respect. So I feel bad about that step. Seriously, I feel bad about that.
Yeah, and it got worse than that. I mean, men went through a lot. I mean, women went through tremendous uh pain and suffering during those time periods too, but the men
Yeah.
too. And that's kind of why we're upset with them trying to erase it from the history books in school, because it's like you're trying to make it seem like it didn't happen so you don't have to be accountable forever. It's like the same thing they're doing in Egypt, right? They're whitewashing Egypt. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? People
Yeah.
of Egypt, the people of Egypt are not the European people complected, right? They were dark
Hmm.
complected people. Now it's completely different thing. So they're doing the same thing
Yeah.
in the United States. I did a video on it where they're talking about it's some states in the United States right now that have pretty much banned the teaching of certain histories of black people. So
Hmm.
it's a bad thing, but it's really what's going on. They just don't want to be looked at as the bad guys forever. And I look at it like is if you never did it, it would have never happened, and you would never have to feel ashamed about it, right? Because now they want reparations, and people ain't gonna never stop talking about reparations. And the only way you're gonna get rid of them talking about reparations for generations to come is if you wash it away from the books, because they built the country off the backs of the black people, some Chinese people, and the Indians.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's wild. It's what they're
So
really
that,
trying to do.
yeah, that's why, when I asked, about, the Thanksgiving thing, and I
Hmm.
asked Frank, what's the real story of this Thanksgiving? And then he
Yeah.
told me, and I told him, oh, for me, I don't need to celebrate that, because if you're gonna look on the history, you don't, because it's just like when I say why it's just like, a lot. I'm not questioning this, but this is my opinion,
Right, right,
because
right.
it shows all about eating, preparing food. But if you go back to the history, you have to tell yourself, oh, you don't need to celebrate that, because this is the history happened.
Hmm.
It's just like, oh my god, it's just like, I'm just uh shake my head that, I feel bad when I saw this, especially in the states, that a lot of people, they forgot, for
Yeah,
me history is very important stuff,
yeah.
in our lives. It's very important, because if you know the history, you can, you build yourself into a good citizen
Right.
in the world.
Better persons. Yeah, you can create a
Yeah,
better.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to put yourself into that thing, that okay, so I have to be nice to other people, because this is what happened to, people that
Hmm.
has undergo of that kind of treatment. But now, well, it's just like, they become uh well, I don't want to say that word, because I don't want to hurt the feeling
It's okay. It's
of your
okay.
people. they
It.
become you know they become what do you call that, illiterate
Yeah.
illiterate when it comes to that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not hurting the feelings. It's not going to hurt anybody's feelings by saying that. It's the truth. If they control the narrative, then what can you do about it? You see what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
like you're talking down about black people. That's not what you're doing. It's the truth, because that's what the government is trying to do. The government is trying to control the outcome. So unless we can keep them from doing it, which a lot of people are talking about it, right? And thank you to the power of the internet, right? And the
Hmm.
power of social media and technology these days, we can really, really get the message out there that this is something that needs to be around and it needs to not be taken away. All right. Ooh, we'll talk about that all night long. It's
Yeah.
it's it's crazy what they're trying to do, but we just can't let them do it. It's just not gonna
Yeah, it's
happen.
just like, it's just like now that I'm very, I'm very grateful that we have this social media, because some people that their voice is not heard, by using this kind of platform,
Mhm.
their voice is heard now,
Yeah,
unlike before. So it's just like, it's according, people how they use the social media platform. Some, they just use that for, to make fun of it, but some they use that for, for the benefits of all.
yeah, exactly. Hey guys, make sure you go subscribe to the Lily Riff Tate channel. I'm saying this, she has a lot of great topics over there and a lot of great content. So make sure you go over there, subscribe, and hit that like button. All right. Let's go to the next question. What are
Okay.
the most popular festivals or celebrations in the Philippines, and what makes them memorable?
Okay, so there's a lot. Filipino were very colonized with the Spanish. When it comes to festival, there's a lot. Every region, every city we have festival, but here in Metro Manila is just like the very famous is the Black Nazarene Festival.
Hmm.
Black Nazarene, because it's just like this is a lot of people, especially when they get sick, everything, when they was with down, they just they have it's all about this is religion, it's all about religion, step, but I don't really want to talk this a little
Yeah,
longer, but I just give you
yeah,
just a basic. So it's just like one Filipino when go to Quiapo, especially during the the festival. It's just like held on January 9, every January 9. People is just like they spend their time to deal with that, because they do praying, because they think that is that's the answer of all the problems that they had in their in their lives. So just going to that festival, so they believe that God will provide them, or everything will gonna be okay. So that's the big festival here in the Philippines, the Black Nazarene Festival.
okay, okay, all right. Hold on, we
So
got a
that's
comment from Will. He says, "You are a woman with a good heart. Stay as you are. You understand more than American will ever understand." He also
yeah.
says they can learn
Thank
from
you.
you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, because it's just like here's the real story, Steph. Here in the Philippines, a lot of Filipino, when it comes to black people, we don't not really we don't know that, because we just really get that what white people tells us, okay? Because
yeah.
we colonize also with the with American.
Well, that's what
So
I tell. Yeah,
it's just like when I learn about, because the treatment between the white and black American is different here in the Philippines, because we Filipino we're not really into the black. A lot of Filipino they really want to become white. They don't really enjoy the natural color of their skin. So the treatment is different. So when I meet Frank, I learn a lot. I learn a lot. I never expect that that during their during the way back 1950s 60s, that white people they don't allow black people to drink on the fountain, is separate. And
yeah,
then the history step to make the story short.
yeah,
So it's just like I really educate, Frank educate me, the history of black people. That's why when once my people, tell about, black people, and I'm married to a black people, I just explain to them that no, don't do that, because you don't know the story. So I explained to them, and they realized, oh, I thank you for for sharing that story from us, because
hmm,
once I married to a black man, it's just like for me I consider myself as part of black
right.
people also, because I'm married, so I'm very I don't know. It's just like, I'm very defensive when it comes, the history, because some, they just putting black people down, by cursing thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't want that, because I don't want that happen to my husband. My people cursing my husband. No, I don't, because my husband deserve respect. So I just try to explain to them that, if you encounter black people, don't say that to them, because there's some term that it really uh you know um like, the word that, they call you,
yeah, 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 yeah. I know what
you
you're
know
saying.
the yeah. So I don't want that, my people tell that it's just like a joke, because I
Yeah.
don't want that, because that's a big, that's a very big offense for, for black people, if you're gonna tell that. So I just, some of my people, I just share some history, so that they be aware of that.
When I started making friends from other countries, I had to explain it to them because they would ask me. So, and it's pretty much like what you said. They only knew what they learned from TV and in magazines and newspapers, because back in the day, uh, the only time you probably would see a black person in a movie, he was the bad guy, right? So naturally, you would be scared of black people. But when they actually come here and they actually meet us, they don't really know how. Like, I used to tell my friends all the time, I'm like, the majority of the ones that you see here, the ones that we call quote unquote illegal, right? Majority of them probably been here 4 or 5 years. They probably never had a black friend in their life. I mean, they have people in their country that live indigenously, right? They're same color as me, right?
Yeah.
But they don't consider them to be black. They're Hispanic. See, the United States is the only country that talks about race first. When you
Mm-hmm.
talk about outside of the country, they talk about ethnicities first, right? Your color comes last. That's why you have a lot of people who are Dominican that'll tell you, I'm not black, I'm Dominican, because it's not that they're trying to deny that they're the same color as me. They're just taught to embrace ethnicity first, not their color. It's I'm Dominican first, then I'm black, right?
Yeah.
But I think we can both agree that we got somebody that can give us a brief overview of how things used to be back in the day. So let's welcome to the stage now, Mr. Frank Tate. What up, Frank?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
What's going on, Frank? How are
Yeah, I
you,
got a deep
man?
conversation going on there.
Yeah, yeah, man. It be like that sometimes, Sometimes we gotta just really, really hone in on things, and let's see how we can get the perfect angle here. Let me see, because I got a couple of them. Boom. Well, we'll stick with that.
Get all three of us in here. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Yeah, but it's like I was telling her, like this is how we're taught versus how they're taught overseas. When you talk to people that are from other countries, you ask them about race and they say, well, I'm Hispanic. They don't say I'm black, right? But like when you leave outside of the country,
Right,
you're an American. You just happen to be a dark colored American, but you're American first.
Mm.
Then
right.
you're black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is
Because
your
that's one of the things that I know.
uh-huh.
That's one of the things that I noticed here when I first started coming here was people wondered, was I American or not?
Mm-hmm.
Not if I was Nigerian or whatever like that. They didn't just look at me as being black. They looked at me as being an American. And as being an American, everybody expects you to be rich. Don't matter what your color is, they look at you as having money because you're an American.
Oh, you got money, man. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, guys.
Yeah.
I remember that, when I saw it, before I met Frank. This is so funny because when I saw, black people, I thought they're American. Okay, they thought they're
All of them?
American. Yeah. So when when I why when they speak English, the sound is different. So Frank told me, okay, now I can tell now that once they open their mouth, I can tell that they're from Nigeria or Kenya. So they're not, and I
Mhm.
can tell the difference between American, black.
Yeah, we are not the same. They do not like us. I don't even know why. I tell you the truth, it's craziest thing, man. Hold on, man. I want to introduce y'all to the International Quiet Storm. Frank, you need to check out this channel. Lily, you need to check out this channel.
Okay, okay.
He's part of a channel
Hmm.
called Machismo TV. It is a passport bro centric channel like this, a men centric channel like this, but they talk about a lot of things over there that needs to be discussed. And I want everybody to make sure you go over there and subscribe to Machismo TV. You go over there and check it out. And if you need a little incentive, check this out.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
They're qualified to do anything. They're a clip-based channel, and they're dope. And they're every night from 12 a.m. until. Check them out. They're dope. And they go live on Sunday nights. It's a panel of 4 or 5 guys that talk about men-centric topics.
Okay, so we're gonna check that
Yeah,
later.
they're dope. There we go. Here's the link right here, guys.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Machismo TV.
Salty balls is always on TV.
Yeah, Salty Balls. Yes, yes. Salty Balls is part of the crew too. They are the clip gods, man. I am telling you, they are dope. When you go over there and watch the video editing skills, you'll be like, wow, let me step my game up. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I watch a video, I'm like, how are they doing this? You know what I'm saying? The first time I even just clicked the link and went over there and looked, I was like, oh my God, this takes time and effort right here. It hooks you from the first time you just look at the video. You're like, what is this? Right? So yeah. Yes, guys,
Yeah.
please subscribe to Salty Balls. See, that's what we do over here. We're all about networking and communicating and helping each other out, about promoting. Everybody make sure you subscribe to the Lily Beth Tate channel. Please make sure that you go over there and show her some love. Please make sure you're respectful when you go over there and talk to her. Her and Frank are over there live several times a week. She drops several videos over there. And we're also trying to make sure that we help Lilybeth, because Lilybeth is trying to build a studio, right? So
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're donating to her fund to make sure that she is able to get her studio equipment so she can drop better content. So
Yeah.
when you go over there, please make sure you support her in her cause. You know, I know some of you guys like to take your money and, wine and dine people sometimes. But take a little bit of that money, put it aside, and help donate to a better cause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? Like,
they can go to my PayPal so that
drop your
YouTube would.
PayPal in the link. Drop it in
Yeah.
the chat. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. There we go. Make sure you subscribe to the Lily Beth Tate channel, guys. Gracias la Caquina. Yeah. We
Yeah.
want to help her get her studio up and running like she wants it to. All right. So there you go. Thank you, La Caquina. Thank you, Quiet Storm, for coming through here. Man, it's a blessing. And that's what I'm going to do in my WhatsApp group, too. is this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be promoting each other. We're gonna be helping each other for free. Okay, for free. Like I said, this ain't. It won't be a group to where you just coming there posting memes and stuff like that, right? No, it's a group where we're going to be supporting each other and helping each other as content creators and people trying to really do something on an international basis. So, yeah, that's what we
Yeah, that's
do.
what it's all about, man. A lot of people keep thinking that us as passport bros are only thinking about women, and
Thank you.
that's not true. We're going places. We're trying to make money, build businesses, and help
Hmm.
people out, help the people in the area out,
There you go.
but we also want to make money too, and that's the thing. We have to learn or think about this. As a black man, my ancestors were slaves, and they prayed every day that they could leave the United States. Okay, well, now we're free. You don't have to stay in the United States. You can see the world. There are plenty of other places where you could go and live a good life. You don't have to be stuck right there accepting what you don't want to accept. Go and see the world. There's plenty of places for you to go. There's money to be made everywhere. Just educate yourself, get yourself together so that you can uh, take those kind of trips to see the rest of the world.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Frank, tell them a little bit about you. Give them a little background on you, Frank.
Well, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. My people are from Macomb, Mississippi. That's where my
Mississippi.
mother is from. My father was from Anna, Arkansas. They moved up to Chicago. You know, um, I grew up there in the hood, in the projects. As a matter of fact, in Robert Taylor Project. That's where I grew up at. You know, uh, when I was 17, I went into the military, went into the army, spent 3 years in Germany. While I was in Germany, I traveled. When I would get a good weekend off where I didn't have to go flying because I was a crew chief in helicopters. So I went all over Europe flying, but I would spend time also. I would rent a car and go to different countries because in Europe, in 6 hours, you could go anywhere in Europe within 6 hours. So I visited a lot of countries, and that's when I learned that life was nothing like the United States. That you could go places, nobody's calling you the N word, nobody's treating you funny, everybody will talk to you. So once I got out of the military and came back to the States, and that was a hard decision because I really didn't want to go back to the States. But when my father passed, I made a promise to my father that I would look out for my mother. And that was the thing that made me want to go back to the United States. And so I went back to the States. I finished college, got my degree, and I ended up, well, when I got out of the military, I worked for a railroad and lost my job at the railroad, which was a good thing. And I was always going to college at night while I was working. And after I lost my job, a little bit after that, I graduated from college. And when I graduated from college, that's when I went to work for the Internal Revenue Service. And I worked my way up from from being a clerk to being a revenue officer, and that's where I learned about money and how to deal with money, because my job at that time doing that as a revenue officer was to collect money for the Internal Revenue Service from businesses and people. So I got to go into people's homes and go over their finances. And that's when I learned how a lot of people didn't know how to manage money, and some people did know how to manage money. You know, one of the first shocks to me was I had went to a guy's house in Barrington, Illinois, and this guy owed $500,000.
Oh, wow.
And all he wanted me to do was explain to him how. And he set up and wrote out two checks to pay that money. And that's when I said, wow, life must be great for some people where they can sit up and write out checks for $500,000, like you going into the store buying a purse or buying anything. You know, and I got to be that way. I got to pay more attention to dealing with my money. Here I am going into people's homes to collect money for the government, and how much money do I have? And that's what made me start really opening up books and reading things that had nothing to do with the job. And then as I started learning these things and doing these things, when I would go into people's homes, I would sit up, I would go over their finances, tell them how much they're going to pay, if I could give them an installment agreement. If they had the cash, then they had to pay the cash and pay it, or otherwise I'd take it. But I always wanted to give a person a chance to pay it. And so for those that couldn't pay, I would give them an installment agreement, and then I would give them advice on what to do once they got the taxes paid off from the government, to take the money that they were paying to the government and start banking that money, and then to start taking that money that they were saving, and every time they got $1,000 to go buy a certificate of deposit and bank it, and keep banking it like that, and letting the interest grow until the money is high enough to pay off most of their bills from the interest from the certificates of deposits. And I had so many people to tell me that I was sent by God, because nobody else had ever sat down and talked with them like that and showed them how to manage some money so that they would never end up in that situation again.
But hold on, Frank. Hold
Then
on, Frank.
I retired. I worked until I retired. Go ahead.
No,
Hold
what I
on. Okay.
What you
You
say,
said that,
sweetheart?
you said that you're sending by God, but some people that you get money from them, they're gonna hate you for that.
yeah, you the police, you the IRS. No,
You're coming
no,
to my house and get my
my,
my money on my
no,
bank.
no, no, don't open that door. Don't open that door. No, 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 no. Jeremiah, what's up, Jeremiah? What's going on? Thank you for showing up. And if you didn't know, the Quiet Storm is a fellow veteran. He says, you grew up in Chicago too, on the south side, 65th and Kenwood. Short drive to the Museum of Science and Industry. Worked at Portillo's downtown by the Rock and Roll and McDonald's. And Navy combat veteran. Salute to all the vets out there. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Machismo TV. So thank you, Quiet
Okay.
Storm.
Salute you, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got a lot of people coming through here that are really, really, really real, Frank. And I appreciate you joining us to be able to conduct this interview, with Lily, because it's important that people be able to hear not just from Lily, right, but from a brother that's over there as well that can pretty much give it to us how we need to hear it, if that makes sense, right? Because sometimes people like to sugarcoat things, and From what I've
Yeah.
heard, Frank, he ain't gonna do it. He gonna give it to you how you need to hear it. So there you go. Right. What's the next question?
Well,
So
one of the main things to remember
go ahead. Go ahead.
is something. Let me get this out. That there's a Bible lesson. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for life.
There you
And
go.
that's what we all need to do. When we have knowledge on making money, we need to share it with other people so that other people can be just like you. And if they can even become better, if they can get more money than you, that's even that much greater because that will make you feel good to see that person climb up above you.
Well, you know what they say, Frank. The game is to be told, not sold. Yeah. And everybody, there's a dollar bill attached to everything. You know what I'm saying? And all money ain't good money because nowadays people are selling their soul for a dollar bill. So let me ask you both this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
How has the natural beauty of the Philippines influenced your daily life? And are there any must visit places for someone exploring the country? You start with Lily.
Well, if we're gonna talk here in Metro Manila, there's a lot of places that you can go, like the Lunita Park. Okay, it's just that's Filipino family hang out with that, and then well, the when you mention about how I influence, the social media thing, step, because that time, I'm very shy type of person. I'm not really into that talking with, especially other national. So I'm a bit shy of that, but it's just like now that I'm exposed on the social media, my confidence starts to get level up. So I'm not really into that. I'm just shy that I'm a bit shy to dealing with people. So that's one thing that it really influenced me, the social media. But it's just like I use this, the platform, to give information to my people in other, like in the West, sharing what's going on my country, and information that they can learn from my country, and then at the same time give some ideas, things that once you go to the other country, do this and you don't do that. Okay, don't do this or do that. And the
Okay.
place that I really want to advise, but I'm not yet been there, but I wish that one day I'm gonna go there, Boracay, that's or going to Coron, Palawan. So that's the two things that I really wants to advise for those travelers that go to Boracay in Palawan, because you really enjoy the natural beauty. Well, the Boracay itself, there's an area that they modernize, but some area that's still the natural beauty. And the best, if you want to look for the natural beauty, go to Palawan. They have the sanctuary that it's very very nice to explore. So it's your turn, Frank.
Okay.
Well, I would have to say that being that I have been to Boracay and I owe Lily a trip to Boracay, that people should check out Boracay. They'll really like it, and Palawan also. Um, but we haven't been traveling around that much over these last 4 years because we've been having our mind on business. We're right now looking for land because we want to build a home and an apartment building. So that's our number one priority right now. One of those things, instead of just giving away rent here, and also because I still have my place in Chicago. I'm still paying money back there over the last 5 years,
Yeah.
so that I can go back and forth if I need to.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing I want to do is want to go back to Chicago and then have to stay at some family member's house. I don't like doing that. So I keep a place in Chicago, and my cars and motorcycles and stuff like that are there. And so, I eventually intend to kill that and sell everything and do everything from here. But we're going to take a few trips. We're waiting on Lily's visa so
Okay.
we can take a little vacation to the United States and go
Brace,
all over the United States.
brace
Yeah, so
yourself.
she can
Yeah.
have her trip there and see everything. Because
Take
at
out a cat.
first
Actually,
she wanted to move to the United States until I started explaining to her
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the United
You wanna-
States is not the place that they've been sold here. That the streets is just paved with gold, and you just go to walk down the streets and become rich. It,
the American dream is a
it
lie.
does not work that way.
Disneyland ain't
Yeah,
all it's cracked up. Hey, Will,
yeah. I
Will,
had to explain to her that we have people sleeping on the streets.
yeah, when
Will
that
says the
time, when Frank told me, oh, I don't really want to go there because it's just like actually when I saw that on the news that during the pandemic that there's a lot of Asian attack by American people. Oh, I was so scared that
yeah,
so it's just like if it's not we have a business to deal in the states. I don't really I will tell Frank knows that I'm no longer interested to go to the states, especially now that no it's just
it
like
takes somebody from here to explain it to you how it is here. And then once they do, you be like, no. You have to and then you see other people talking about it, and you're like, wow, is it that's why I said brace yourself. Take it to California, Frank. Take it to the Santa Monica or somewhere like it where it's beautiful. Because anywhere else, you might, I mean, well, take it to certain parts. You know what I'm saying? Because turn around corner, you see all the people sleeping on the
Yeah.
street.
Well, it's
Will,
just
huh?
yeah, just like in Chicago, there's nice places, but some places you do not want to go to.
No. No. Will says the Mall of
But
Asia.
it's beautiful here,
oh,
man.
It's
Mall
in,
of
It's
Asia.
beautiful here. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you see out my window.
all right.
Oh,
Let me move this laptop so you can see.
you will see
Hopefully, the
my
sunlight
plants
doesn't keep
there.
you from being able to see.
Oh, wow. Is that the pier?
You can see the that's off of my porch,
We
Okay.
have a
Okay.
big
and
porch.
this is the building across from us.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Will,
and that's one of the surprises that a lot of people get when they come here, because from listening to the sisters, a lot of the sisters talk, you would think that everybody is poor in the Philippines, and
right.
that's not true. That's not. If you check out BGC, okay,
BGC.
it looks better than New York, better than Los
Oh,
Angeles. Okay, it's really beautiful. Were you getting
So,
ready to say something, sweetheart?
Solar
Yeah, I just,
Casino.
I just want to share to Stefano, the beauty. One of my short video. That's I got that shots from BGC.
Oh, salty balls. Salute, sir. Thank you for coming through here. Thank you so much, guys. He said it. Oh, Lilibeth, you got a donation for your studio. Only thing he wants to say is please don't say my government name. Please check your PayPal.
Okay, later. Because I'm using my phone, so I cannot, I cannot check, or else I gotta disappear on the live.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Thank
you,
you
Quiet.
so much. Okay, so I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Will says, if I'm not mistaken, the land has to be in the wife's name. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think you can only own 60, 80% of a condo. Is that true?
You can no,
You,
you
you
you yeah, yeah, you can't buy up that much of the building, but you own the condo that you buy. You could also own a townhouse.
Okay.
But if you want to build a house or build an apartment building or something like that, the land has to go into the wife's name.
Okay.
it's not really good, I will, I will. It's not really good, investment step, to buy land here, because it's just like you're not both benefits. It just only okay if Frank buy the land, and it's just like it's more onto me. Okay, so it's not really, it's not really a good advice that, buy a land here. Is just like, oh, what happened, because here's the thing, Steph. If something happened to me, Frank cannot own that, even though it's just, we're just belong to me. So the my family, if I have a children, that goes to my children, not to Frank. Or else Frank will sold that land, or and then he cannot really, own that for for investment. So he has to sold that, so that, he can get that money. But some, uh like, if I allow, one of my relatives, well, they can get that from Frank, because here the laws here that, you know my relatives will benefit that, even though Frank is my husband. So that's kind of, it's unfair. I don't really want to advise that, because it's not, unlike in the states that, I can able to buy land there. But here, no, you have to
Yeah.
marry to a Filipino citizen. It's not it's not good advice.
Quiet Storm
Now,
says Lilibeth is smart.
now
Stay in the
you
Philippines.
can,
Yeah. Go ahead,
but
Frank.
you
Go ahead.
can buy the land in the name of a corporation, but the
Oh,
corporation still has to be the 60/40.
okay. Yeah, Quiet Storm felt it
And that way you
vibrating. He
own
came on
40% of
through.
the land.
Okay. Go ahead, Frank. Keep showing those beautiful receipts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shot Town. Shot Talk to Jedi. Thank you for coming through, brother. Appreciate it. Salute. Will says the government doesn't want foreigners to buy the country, then the locals will not be able to afford to live, which is smart. Yep. Yep. Thank you guys. Please make sure you hit
Yeah,
that like.
but the prices are going up.
Are they? How much of a price difference has it changed since
Yeah,
you've
the
been there?
prices are going up.
How much has it changed since
The
you've been there to now?
more of us that come over. Oh geez. where you used to be able to find a decent place for $50,000. You can. If you
Mm,
want to get a house that is American size, you're gonna spend over $100,000.
oof.
The
Where you
cost
used
of
to be able to do it for like about 60.
the cost of housing here, it's very expensive. If you
Go ahead.
really want, if you really want to build or buy, the big and beautiful house, the cost was so crazy. It's just like the cars also. It's very expensive here, Steph.
Mm,
It's very
wow.
expensive.
I can
Yeah.
imagine because a lot of people try to
And they have some beautiful
money.
homes.
Say it again, Frank.
They have some beautiful homes here.
Okay.
Okay, out in the countryside, up on the hillsides and stuff like that. Just like if you're in California and you see some of those big mansions and stuff like that. Oh, they've got a bunch of them here. They've got people here with money. They're building here more than they're building in the United States. Everywhere you go, you see the sky cranes on the top of these tall buildings, building high-rise buildings and stuff here. They're really building up in the Metro Manila area and all around the Philippines.
Hmm.
Yes.
The contractor. Salute, sir. Thank you for coming through here. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure y'all subscribe to my Cheesemo TV. Please make sure you go over there and check them out. Like I always say, turn off Dateline, turn off the ID channel, watch my Cheesemo TV at nighttime. You want to see something interesting, watch those guys. Don't sit around and watch what everybody else do. Do something different with your life. Watch my Cheesemo TV. Thank you,
Yeah,
contract.
watch
Go.
something that they can learn. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes. You gonna learn something watching Machismo TV. Trust me. You're gonna sit there and just
yeah.
turn the TV on. You're gonna sit there and just be like, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I do. I watching also other vloggers that, I can learn. I don't really watch, things that, oh, he does, this is bragging there's some. No, I don't. I want to, to learn more than, do things that.
So let me ask you guys this right here. In what ways has the modernization of cities impacted traditional Filipino values and lifestyle?
You want me to answer
That's a
that, Frank?
question for her.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lily. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so what ways has the modernization? Well, when it comes to modernization of the cities, a lot, it's just like, okay, uh, people are very well, they become lazy because here's the thing that, okay, going to the market, go, okay, just example this, do a shopping, food. So now they don't want to go. Is that all they have to do? Just open their gadget, dial, and then a few hours, the stuff it's in there on the door. But they, they become lazy, lazy, because doing stuff, going to the, go like
It's
I
rare.
still doing that. I'm still doing that, going to wet market or, farmers market. I don't go online. So I just use, the old school way of shopping. And then um the well, the traditional Filipino, I don't I don't think that it still exists. But what I'm gonna say is, uh, modern Filipino, modern Filipino, because okay, when it comes to, okay, let's say when it comes to women, the traditional Filipina is no longer exists. Okay, even in the in the countryside is no longer exists, because if you're gonna tell the traditional Filipina, you can't talk, you can talk to them, because the traditional Filipina way back during my my parents' time, especially when you go skirting, you cannot talk to them straightly. You have to go to their parents first. Okay, you have to serenade the parents. You have to show work with the parents. If the parents are satisfied of your service, they let you talk to their daughter. Okay, but
Pretty.
it's no longer that, it's no longer exists that. But I can tell that in my generation, I consider myself as a modern Filipina. But it's just like the culture of Filipina, that where our culture is, we're very, especially when it comes to men, we respect our men. The words, especially my father, the words of my father is very holy. Holy. So we don't really want, well, I'm not saying that, my my people, especially men, they're very good, but they do something kind of thing. But as a Filipina, we really give value, we really respect our men. So that's the difference. So I'm not considered that, traditional, but me is no longer, the traditional, is not exist now. But modern Filipina, that's the innovation of traditional uh to modern Filipina.
Okay. So, what about you, Frank? In your opinion, what ways has modernization of cities impacted traditional Filipino values that you've noticed since you've been there?
Um, being that I have not really lived in the countryside to see the true difference between the and what they call living in the
Province.
countryside is different than us. They call it the province, so I've never really lived in the province, so I don't know, but I can tell you from what I hear. But I don't want to do that because that's hearsay. But I can say this: that what I can see the change taking place is that I think economically the Philippines is getting ready to grow. Now, the only thing that might stop its growth is this thing that's going on with China right now, and nobody really talks about it. Okay, um, I know you've probably heard where China is going in on the Philippines ocean area, fishing in the areas, bringing in military stuff, and that's a little bit scary. Okay, and I'm advising my wife to pay attention to this because if things get bad, we may have to leave the Philippines. And I remind her of history when things went bad for the Jews in Germany.
Yeah.
Some didn't pay attention. Some didn't get their money together where they could get up out of there. And so I'm letting her know we have to be ready to leave if something jumps off because I don't think that the rest of the world is going to just sit up and let China take over all of the ocean that it wants to take over. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the United States is going to sit by and watch it. I don't think the NATO countries are going to sit by and watch this happen because China wants to control the shipping lanes, and there's too much money going through those shipping lanes for the Europeans and the United States to sit up and let China just take that over. So it's a way more serious thing that a lot of people really don't understand. They just look at it just as something going on between the Philippines and China, and it's not. It's the rest of the world that's watching. So keep your eyes on that, especially if you're thinking about investing in the Philippines. Wait and see what's really going to happen with this China thing, because it is very serious. And the news here, they talk about it, but they really don't explain how serious it is to the people here. That can't happen. You know how those people are in our country when it comes to their money.
Yeah, you're
They'll
right.
fight over money.
Sure will. And that's what another issue that we're having with the de-dollarization right now. China is leading with the BRICS thing, right? The whole thing about BRICS, the C in BRICS stands for China. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But they've added on to that. So not only are they messing with the Philippines, which the Philippines is a big spot for us as a country, right? They're also hurting the Filipino.
Yeah.
What's the word I want to use here? Filipino
Well,
bankroll. Put it that way.
it can hurt
Pockets.
the whole economy.
The
Yeah.
economy. Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of stuff has to stop. It has to stop. Now, me myself, I have stopped buying Chinese products, and they sell a lot of Chinese products in the Philippines.
Okay.
And I think Filipinos should boycott buying Chinese products. Why put money in somebody's pocket that's trying to take over your fishing lands and stuff like that? Now, you don't do that. They're just trying to be nice and trying to be reasonable with the Chinese, but the Chinese don't want to give up. They want to take what they want to take,
They want
and the rest of the world can't let that happen. So, yeah, beware, because the United States ain't going for it. China is trying to build a military power.
They are. Yeah, you're right about that. You're
Okay,
exactly
and the
right.
United States is not going to let that happen. And that needs to be talked about more, especially for those if you're going to come here and put a bunch of money into stuff, you need to be aware of what's really going on. And I don't know how much they're talking about it there in the United States.
They ain't.
And China is trying to make it seem like the U.S. is trying to use the Philippines as a puppet. No, they're not. The thing is, this thing that China has going on with Taiwan, and Taiwan makes all of the chips for the world. And the
They do.
United States cannot let China take over Taiwan because we depend on too many of their chips for all of our computing stuff, for our military stuff.
Isn't Qualcomm in
So the
Taiwan?
United States
Isn't Qualcomm in
cannot let
Taiwan?
that happen.
Isn't Qualcomm in Taiwan?
Say that
It's a
again.
Taiwanese company. Qualcomm, the people that make those chips for the
Yeah,
computers. Ain't that in Taiwan?
yeah,
So there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Almost all of your chips come from Taiwan, and that's why China wants to take over Taiwan. But they want to say, "Oh, it's because you know we own Taiwan," you know. But it's a thing. They broke off when they had that little war and divided, and the Communist Party took over, and then those who wanted it to be a democracy moved to Taiwan. And so now China is saying that they want to take Taiwan even by force if they have to. And the United States has said, no, we're not going to let that happen. We have a certain agreement with them. And it's the same thing with the Philippines. The United States has a defense pact with the Philippines that if the Philippines is attacked, the United States has to come to their aid. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's part of the agreement, and everybody needs to understand that. So you could end up with a big war over here because the Philippines is not far from Taiwan. And these chain of islands around China is what's keeping China from really breaking out into the sea. And so they want to take over those islands. That's what this is about. So people have to pay attention to this. This is very important because it could start a world war.
Yeah, makes sense.
And see,
and I'll be quiet.
No, you don't have. Right.
no, but it's the truth. I mean, it's crazy what greed will do, but greed
Well,
and
it's
eat.
just, yeah, it's just like last week, there's a two Philippine Coast Guard boat that was water bomb with the Chinese Coast Guard, and they just very very aggressive, and then one of the shield of the two Coast Guard boat was broken. So
Shooting water.
this is they
They
don't
use their
really
water
listen.
cannons.
Yeah, water can yeah,
Let me explain
water
this.
can
Let me explain this to y'all. Let me
Go ahead.
explain this. Um, the CCP, the Chinese Navy, has been coming into Philippines waters. Okay,
Right.
I know you heard about the Chinese building these islands on the shoals. Well, the
yeah,
Philippines has a boat there. It's like a watch out, and
the Sierra Madre.
there are Marines that are on that ship. The Chinese keep trying to stop the Philippines from resupplying these people, these soldiers that are on that ship, and they have to resupply those soldiers and all. That ship was set there to prove that that's Filipino waters, and they're like a outpost to look to see what's going on. And so the Chinese want the Philippines government to remove that ship, and they're not going to do it because the Philippines own that part of the ocean, and China wants to take it. And so what's going to happen, I don't know. The Philippines have been showing very good patience with the Chinese because they don't want to start a war. But
Well,
the
the President Frank
Chinese,
is just like
they're
he's
pressing
doing
their
his
luck.
diplomatic um part, because there's a lot of
Duty,
Filipino
yeah,
will
yeah.
affected if if there's a war. My God, because it happens that during the World War II,
All
So
right.
Japanese.
Let me ask.
I want people in the United States to pay attention, to see what's really going
Oh,
on, to know what's going on, so that because everything now is, from what I can see, is always talking about Donald Trump and the election and everything, and not really paying attention
that's
to
all
some
they're
of the
talking
world
about right now.
events.
It's Donald Trump. And this is why I keep telling
Yeah,
people ain't nothing gonna happen to Trump. Nothing's gonna happen to Trump. It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen because it's a lot of
yeah,
other things popping off right now in the world and they using this reality star to cover up everything else that's really actually going on the back end, if that makes sense. But I don't think nothing's gonna happen to Trump at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have to pay some money. He ain't going to jail. I mean, if he was gonna go to jail, do you think he'd actually be the about to be the Republican nominee? Come on, man. Like, some common sense ain't that common around these parts, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Look,
You know?
me as an ex-federal officer, okay, one thing that I do know, all right, and which I had information that I couldn't let other people have. If I took that information, I'd be sitting in jail now. There would be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I would be in prison, in a federal prison somewhere. And this man is still walking around like he ain't done a thing.
He ain't going to jail. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's going to pay his way. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know. But it's just like, oh my God, I'm just gonna shake my head if somebody, gonna vote for him.
Look, they got him on tape right now in Georgia, of all places. They got him on tape in Georgia, of all places, talking about find them votes. You know what I'm saying? And Fannie Mae and them done messed it up where they, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all watch The Lead Attorney. Make sure y'all go subscribe to The Lead Attorney's channel. He's covering
I watch Lead.
Okay, yeah. So, yo, Fannie Mae and them done jacked up the whole trial. You telling me this man, he going to jail? That's the trial that is gonna go to jail right there. And look what they done over some money. You telling me that? Never mind. You know what I'm saying? Just look at this.
Oh, man, look. They're trying to put them RICO charges on him. I understand RICO as a federal
I
officer.
get it.
Okay. And he has turned it from his RICO charges, okay, which is being a gangster. That's what they use RICO charges for. People with organized crime. And he has turned it into who she's sleeping with.
Dude.
And people are falling for it.
It is a TV show. It's about to be just like his old TV show. You're fired. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was the trial right there that's supposed to put him behind bars, him and all his people. And now we know they call her. Dang. Matter of fact, on Machismo TV, they got a video that says in Nathan Willis' phone, he had Fannie's name saved as Gorilla Grip. Tell me I'm lying. Who? Everybody in here from Machismo TV, tell me I'm lying. Gorilla Grip. Gorilla Grip.
Oh, that's right.
That's why they got him going over there at 1 o'clock in the morning, pinging off all them towers, going over there to get that Gorilla Grip. You know what I'm saying? Why you?
Now look,
Oh,
we have seen, okay, at least I have, I'm kind of old. I've seen them use RICO charges and put mafia bosses in prison. Okay,
yeah.
Guys that can punch a button and have anybody off. Okay, it's no way that they could have turned a RICO trial into a sideshow of a circus, but Trump did. How?
Look, the contractor just said, "Yep." The contractor's with Machismo TV too. They got the video where the man had the woman name saved as Gorilla Grip in his phone, man. That's wild. That's wild.
Well, I like to get stuff to me.
That's wild, man. Gorilla grip. Ooh, boy. Fanny got that fanny pack for him. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Oh, Fannie Mae. Jesus Christ. Look.
That's crazy.
Let me ask let me ask the last question right here, right? Go ahead, one of the
Okay.
last questions, but we're gonna switch it up. Instead of saying various cultures, we're gonna use passport bros. Right? How has the influence of passport bros shaped uh the scene in the Philippines ever since it's hit mainstream, right? How has it kind of cultivated things in the climate over there?
Okay, Frank, you answer that first.
O- Okay. Um, I think it has opened up a lot of Filipinos' eyes to black men. White men have been coming over here to the Philippines for the longest. Okay. And when we had our bases here, there were some black men around. But once our bases closed, that almost closed off us mostly being here. Now, since the passport bros have been coming, it has opened up the eyes of a newer generation of what black men are really like. You know, they're not going by in the movies anymore. As you know, we were always depicted as the drug dealer, the robber, the carjacker. Uh, nothing positive about us at all.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they're finding out that we're not like that, and this is the thing that made this thing that these sisters were doing and saying that we were broke and dusty and would abuse them and all of this type of stuff. And as they got to meet us and find out that we are honorable men, and that we just are getting away from women who are not honorable. And that's what we're looking for, are honorable women if we're going to hook up with somebody. And so I think that is the big change that passport bros have made to coming to the Philippines. Also, like when it comes to going to Thailand, okay, it changed everything. You know, we are looked at in a much better light now, but some of the sisters are not looked at that well, you know, because one thing I can tell you, these Filipinos, man, they have memories and
Mm-hmm.
they've seen these videos and they do not like it. It really ticked them off for the sisters to be sitting up saying that they're illiterate, you know, they can't speak English, you know, they poor, they broke. And the sisters didn't even stop to think. The Philippines have had a few women presidents. Okay, the United States haven't. So the country has been ran by women here. These women are not dumb, they are not stupid, and they are not falling for that crap. And the Filipinos are saying, you know, those good black men that you want to say that are broken, dusty, send them here. We'll take them.
We're gonna take them two hand, two hand.
All right. What, in your opinion, Lily Bess, how has it affected the culture over there?
Well, when it comes to passport, bro, it's just like no, it's just here's here's the main reason that I just give value, give value to Frank because uh I watching the movie Boycott. I don't know if you're familiar about Sir Dr. Martin Luther King. It's just like the Filipino is just like okay, women, black women, they just rejected black men, and then they just tell, like Frank said that they broke in dusty. So it's just like we Filipino, it's just like we do things like we unite. We unite, to embrace, brothers coming here because you deserve, you deserve some love, you deserve some respect. So come over here in the Philippines and we can give you that without without telling you that you're broke in industry or what. So that's that's the thing that I can explain that Steph, when it comes to that question.
Okay.
I've got 2 points that I'd like to make.
No problem, contractor. You deserve it, brother. I appreciate you guys for coming through here. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Frank. Go ahead.
I want people to know that the original Filipino was black.
Yeah.
So Filipinos have black blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, when the Filipino American War took place, black soldiers left the U.S. Army and went up into the hills and helped Filipinos fight the white American soldiers. I don't know how many people know that.
I'd never heard of that. Only thing that I've ever heard is that they had Spanish in
Yeah.
their.
Go
No,
ahead.
it's like the we call that Steph, katutubo, the original Filipino. It's just like same as they're but they're not tall. It's just like the for the men, the height for the men is just like 5'2", and
Yeah.
then five, very petite. But when it comes, the skin color is the same, the hair of the type of hair, it's the same. It's the same. So that's that's the original Filipino. Me, I'm not, well, I'm here in the Philippines. They said that I'm Filipino, but my blood is not, it's not real Filipino blood. I mix with Spanish, Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the result. So I don't really have but my skin, we just Frank told me that I yellow, high yellow,
Hi, yellow.
high yellow, but no, but for me it's just like I'm not
She a
i'm
red
i'm
bone.
dark. I'm dark.
She a red bone.
Your red bone.
Yeah. It's from the south, baby. Yeah. It's your red bone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
Stefano,
know. Huh?
Stefano, look at her nose. She's got a wide nose like we have.
I
Look
mind
at
my
her
business.
lips.
I
Her
mind my
lips are
business.
full.
Yep.
Like that. No, man, you'll see that in all, and you'll see that in Filipinos that have that black blood. See, that's
Yes,
the
sir.
proof that they're mixed with us and all. So when our sisters start talking like they talking, they need to know history and know what's going on because they putting down people that come from their own bloodline,
It's like I
and that's
told
wrong.
Lily a long time ago. They talk a mean game, but they not gonna bust a grape. You don't see them come taking vacations to. They barely taking vacations to Thailand. They show. Why would you? Somebody said it good one time. Why would you want to pick a fight with people who practice MMA for just for fun? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, all y'all out of shape and can't even run up the block. What do you? Where do you think Muay Thai comes from? And what do you think you like? And these the people that you want to. These are people you want to. Okay, this black women picking fights with Filipinos make as much sense as Jake Paul trying to fight a 57-year-old Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is going to fight Mike Tyson. 7 years old. He's still going to knock him out.
Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. You see what I'm saying? So you.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Come on, man. It's all talk. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing they got to realize is every time they walk into a hair store, they don't know if they Filipino, Taiwanese, Vietnamese. They don't know who's who. You know, because they think everybody Chinese. So you ain't never got to worry. Dude, you ain't never got to worry about them. It's just internet, Twitter finger talk. You know what I'm saying? They need something. They need some nails, some hair, a brush or something. They ain't gonna stop coming in them stores. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you might want you're gonna tune it down. You say Uncle D contractor, yes sir. Dennis Sperling. Hey guys, we got 18 people viewing. Make sure all 18 of you guys have hit that like button. Please make sure that you are subscribed. If you are watching this on the replay, please make sure that you hit that like button and leave a comment. Please make sure you go and subscribe to the Lilibeth Tate channel. Also, please make sure that you donate and help her build up her studio. She's trying to get her studio together. We want to make sure that we support each other as much as possible as content creators. And we want to go over and show her some love. Please make sure if you do go over there, tell her that I sent you. Please go over there and be respectful. She's over doing her things. It's international, and we want to keep these international relations positive and productive. So we're going to keep doing things like this. Last question. We've been on here 2 hours having fun, guys. I really appreciate you guys. What advice would you give someone looking to experience and understand the authentic essence of Filipino life?
Oh, Frank, because you married to a Filipino. Okay, you first. So I gave the floor on you.
This is the most peace that I have had in my life. I walk now without that hog leg on my side, like I had to do in Chicago.
Yeah.
All right. You know you can't drive down the street, man, in that Corvette with the top off and windows down and stuff. Somebody be to knock you in your head and drug you out your car and drove off. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
you
God.
got to put your hog leg on you, man, when you go out in your stuff like that. Okay.
So Frank,
man, I ain't
wait, hold on.
worry about nothing like that, man.
I stop you for a while, so it's just like you have to look out for your head.
Yeah, he ain't lying. Somebody will knock your head clean out, pull you right up out that car. Yeah. Yes, sir. Look,
So
quiet storm. No, look, quiet storm in Chicago. He know he laughing too.
And all the people are friendly. These are some very friendly people. Man, look, I was in a motorcycle accident, okay? And the Filipinos came running over, picked my motorcycle up, helped me up off the ground, took me to a place for me to get my motorcycle fixed, and towed my motorcycle, okay, to get it fixed. These are some nice people, man. They will look out for you. They don't look at your color or nothing like that. They treat everybody like a human being. They're some of the nicest people that I've ever met. And so that's why I will recommend to people, you know, that it's a nice place to live. Yeah, and it's beautiful. The mountains and stuff that you can see, the volcano, you could see the volcano like, well, not from our window, but like when we were in Posset City, which is not that far from here. And you can see this big, tall, beautiful, look like a mountain, but I think it's a volcano where the clouds cut it off sometimes where you can't see the whole volcano. It's so tall. And it's beautiful here, man. So green. Okay. But even though they do have cities, okay, just like in the United States, okay, but they also have beautiful countryside too. Come and see it. You'll like it. Have you ever been here?
No, you make me want to
Stefano,
come.
have you ever been here?
No,
Oh
no,
man,
you making me want to
look,
come.
my brother, get you a ticket. We're gonna invite you to dinner. All right, feed you some real Filipino food. Give you like what you was talking about earlier when I wasn't on. When you was talking about that
The
Southern
chicken adobo.
hospitality, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
way
something there.
Filipinos are.
It's
You
something
ain't
hospitality.
leaving their house, man, without your stomach sticking out. Okay, they gonna feed you. You have to tell them to stop. I can't take no more. Okay,
Mm.
they gonna feed you, boy. Okay, you go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay, so my advice, my advice for those men and women, especially for those West Westerners, that if you want to come here in the Philippines, okay, all the things that you're doing there in the States, leave it there, okay?
Yeah.
Leave it there, okay, so that you don't want to have trouble here. So I guarantee that my people are very friendly. You're safe here as long as you obey the laws. Nothing to worry about, things that somebody will harm you, because well, I'm not saying that there's a few Filipino that doing bad for, but I can guarantee that as long as you're doing good with the people, you're good, you're safe here. And for those ones to find a Filipino mate, okay, know the person first. Know the person before you deal with it, because it's not easy, it's not easy to find the right one. So there's a lot of women here, but you cannot really tell who's the right one that really on you. So don't really fall for those angelic face, and don't fall for that. Be smart, to find the right one if you really look for a Filipina. Okay, so it takes a little time to find, but once you find the right one, I guarantee you that you have a happy and peaceful life. So that's all, Steph.
All right. I want to thank you guys so much for coming through here. I think this is a big interview, and I really, 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 really appreciate it, man. We had a great conversation tonight. As you know, I will be on the other side with you guys whenever you go live. So I'm there.
Yeah,
And I believe now you're also going to have the support of my Cheesemo TV as well. So
yeah, yeah.
everybody
We
make sure you go subscribe to my Cheesemo TV. Make sure you subscribe to the Lily F Tate channel. Please hit that like button on all the videos. Leave comments. Let us know how you feel about the content. It helps us become better content creators. We got several content creators in the chat right now as the contractor, Salty Balls, other guys like this that are up and coming YouTubers. And all they ask you to do is leave comments and things like that in their chat so they'll know your opinions on the videos. And I'm doing the same thing on mine. Lily does the same thing on hers. And we just want to know your honest opinions because it helps us develop and become better content creators, guys. We've been on here 2 hours and 8 minutes. We're going to end the stream like this. Once again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for having us in your show, Steph.
No, you're welcome up here anytime. You're a moderator here, Lily. You know, so salute to you too, Frank. Appreciate it. We're out.